Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here I am in my home and I'm about to talk about plants with you. How excited are you? Today I wanted to go over the prayer plant. Oh my god. Do you see this madness right here? It's very identifiable by the red veins you see in the leaves. Ain't she pretty? The new leaves that pop out are just pretty much lime green for the most part, and there are lime green varieties, but this guy, it starts with the lime green and then she turns into this. This is definitely one of the plants that surprised me because I was expecting for it to be like really difficult and a nightmare, because from what I read online, people were like, it's very particular and blah blah blah, and I was like, dang it. Because I obviously got it impulsively. That's what I do. I was like, this looks pretty, let's get it. And then not do any research going into it, because that's not good. You should definitely like know what you're getting into first, because that's how plants die. One cool thing that I didn't know about the prayer plant is that at night they kind of fold their leaves down like this. When I was picking it up at Home Depot, one of the employees was like, oh, do you know they like fold up at night? And I was like, cool. Like, what is she talking about? I'm like, how do they fold up? I was expecting it to like roll into like a little tortilla or something, but they just like fold like down, and it's actually really cool. They get very like stiff too. So if you try to move them up, they're like, no. I was pleasantly surprised at how easy this plant just fit into my house, and it's been pushing out new leaves like crazy, and I really haven't been doing anything super special for it. So I would say watering is probably the trickiest part about this plant. It's not even that tricky, but you definitely want to use water that you've either boiled, pre-boiled, and obviously let it cool down before you water it. You don't want to pour boiling hot water into a plant. I would imagine it would kill it instantly, but I don't know. I've never tried because I'm not evil. But you can boil the water or let it sit out for at least 24 hours, because these guys are very sensitive to tap water. They don't like all the minerals, because if you give it straight tap water, you will get a leaf with like brown tips. So you want to be very mindful of that. Definitely boil your water or let it sit out for 24 hours, or get distilled water. That's a lot of work though. So just, fill your water pourer canteen thing the night before, let it sit out overnight, and then that should suffice. I haven't had a ton of problems with the leaves getting all brown, so. And then as far as when to water, I would wait until the top of the soil is pretty dry. If it feels even a little bit moist, then don't water it. You want to wait until it's pretty dry, because these plants do like to be consistently watered, but not like drenched, so wait until the top is like pretty crispy dry, and then give it a good soak. I would definitely recommend bottom watering if you're into that life, because that just ensures that it's thoroughly watered. Keep that in mind, okay? And then as far as soil for these guys, I just use a basic potting mix. I don't use anything special. I think I just mixed in some orchid bark, but for the most part it's been in mostly potting mix, and it seems to like that because it holds enough moisture for them, but it's not like smothering. You want it to drain out quickly, but you don't want it to like rip through instantly, you want some of that water to sit in there at least, so it hits all the roots and it can absorb enough. Because if you let it dry out too much, I've seen it before where leaves will yellow and they'll die off pretty fast if you let it dry out for too long, so be careful. And then as far as fertilizing these guys, I just do it every couple weeks or so in the summer when it's really hot, and it seems to be producing a ton of new leaves. But even before that, I really wasn't fertilizing it at all. So I don't think it necessarily relies on the fertilizer, but I think it definitely helps it a bit. Like, I want it to just cascade like a waterfall, I can't wait for that. It's closely related to the calathea, and I would say this is so much easier than the calathea. The calathea is way more sensitive, I've found, probably to humidity levels and everything, so this guy is way tougher than its cousin. And then as far as light for these guys, I have it about 5 feet from my south-facing window. These guys definitely don't need a ton of light. They can take pretty indirect light. I don't know if I would categorize it as a low light plant necessarily. And I wouldn't say this is like a beginner plant, but if you've been in the game for a bit and want to, you know, branch out and challenge yourself a tad, this is a good, you know, second plant to get. If you have like medium to bright light to offer it, it'll be pushing out new leaves for you like a lot, like very aggressively. So that's about it, guys. I hope this video was helpful with the gorgeous prayer plant slash red Maranta. Definitely one of my favorites. I know I say that about all of them, but I have a YouTube channel about plants, so obviously I'm just a fan of all of them for the most part. Anyway, please comment, like, subscribe, and keep watching, share, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.